I am excited. We've got new presenters. I haven't met them. Coley's given me no information. He's done all the hard work, and now I get to meet him. So let's find out who it is.
Hi there. Good luck for the big preview episode. You'll all be great. A few tips. There's a really good coffee machine, but there's no milk frother. What's good about the coffee machine is you can put the pods in, press a button, and it will automatically select the amount of water you need. So you don't need to press the button 2 or 3 times like my mate Ben does all the time.
Right, make sure everyone is fueled with caffeine. I can never work this thing.
The Wi-Fi password is THB127. I don't know how it ended up like that. I just turned up one day and Ben had said that's the code. Thirdly, feel free to hang your shirts up anywhere you want. It's not an actual changing room, it's a studio. Feel free to make it your own. That's the niceties out the way. There are a few rules you need to be aware of. 1, if you eat it, you replace it. There's a bunch of mini Mars bars and biscuits and nice things that when I come in the beginning of the day, there's a whole pile of them. When I leave, they've all been eaten.
Love these.
I don't know who's doing it, but when I get there next time, there should be some left for me, okay?
Yeah, I'll take another one.
Rule number 2. If you don't know a word, make something up. Ben does it all the time.
Tell you what, whoever stocks these is a key clog in the For Love of Rugby machine.
Rule 3. You can moan about anything. I don't care. I actively encourage moaning. It's good for the soul, good for everyone, and just makes you feel better. But the one thing you can't moan about is rugby. We have to be positive about the game. We're all about how we love it, and it's just the best thing ever. So yeah, those are the rules. Or actually, as it's rugby, those are the laws. 3 laws. As the referee once told me when I was 16, there aren't any rules in rugby, there are only laws. So that's it really. Welcome to the FTLOR team. Maud and Sadia, good luck in York on Sunday. And Shaunagh, you're in charge. You have to keep the peace and just keep it highbrow, alright? Don't fuck it up.
He's picked 3 forwards.
The Men's Six Nations is over and the Women's Six Nations is starting this weekend. Woohoo! I'm Shaunagh Brown and I'm a former Red Rose, joined by 2 current Red Roses. We have Muir, Sadia, Kabeya. Congratulations in the Red Roses camps throughout the Six Nations.
Thank you.
As we look ahead to a fully packed 6 months of international rugby. Sadia, would you like to introduce your teammate Maud?
Yes, we have Maud. She's a prop, one of the best in the world, and our local bag lady.
You didn't need to say that. You didn't need to add that.
Fun fact.
You also can't just finish there. Could just like in a sentence, why the bag lady?
Well, she just has multiple bags on her everywhere she goes, but it's because it's needed, right, Maud?
Yeah, everything is essential that I bring.
Exactly. 3 bags at all times. Has to be.
At the minimum.
Maud, it's your turn. Get your own back. Tell us about Sadia.
Yeah. This is Sadia Kabeya, a back rower. My favourite player on the England team. I'm her biggest fangirl. She's destructive in the tackles and all-round great human.
God, I feel like hers is a bit. I need to start mine over again now.
No, that's it. We realised what you really think of Maud. Thank you for your honesty. You girls have been in camp this week. Tell our listeners and viewers what it's like to be a Red Rose in camp in 2025.
I think it's like, especially at the first few camps, so tiring. Like you've just got no energy to socialise. But it definitely, as you get through the camps, you have more energy to actually, have a coffee with a friend or 2.
Yeah, we're front loading. Lots of information, lots of new things, and it's slowly will start to click. But yeah, first week in camps are always breaking down the ice a little bit, but then once you get into it, it's very, very fun.
And when you say no energy and how much it drains you and no socialising, Sadia, can I ask you, what's your ideal weekend, especially if it's a rest weekend, how many steps would you get in on a rest weekend?
On a rest weekend, how many steps it is from my bedroom to the front door to pick up my Uber Eats order. As much time horizontal as possible is my ideal rest weekend.
To be fair, I'm the complete opposite, to be honest. I
No.
always have
Yeah.
the aims
Really?
of doing absolutely nothing, and then I somehow plan loads of stuff to do.
So speaking of friends, our roommates are our closest friends in camp, aren't they? Maud, your roommate, how long have you been going? You've been quite strong,
Ooh.
haven't you?
Yeah, probably since we both first got capped, to be
And
honest.
who is she?
Lucy Packer, little
Lucy
loose.
Packer, no,
Our
big
little girl.
loose.
Big loose, big loose. Our
Small
tiny
in,
little
small in
lamb.
stature, huge at heart.
Yeah. No, she's a great roomie. I do love rooming with Luce. We're just so opposite, and I think I don't know if she'll say the same thing, to be fair. We tone each other out, you know?
So does that mean things like lots of noise versus Lucy's silentness?
To be fair, I think I'm quite good because I'm literally like playing games until 9 p.m.
Yeah.
I'm not in the room, so Luce gets her alone time. So yeah, it's not too bad, to be fair.
And Sadia, you subbed me out
I did sub you out, Shaunagh.
because we did room at the World
We
Cup
had
in
our short
2022.
stint, yeah.
Yeah, we had a messy room for quite a long time. That wasn't my idea
No.
of a good room, if you ask me. But there's a give and take,
It's-
isn't there?
No. I have evolved since then. I've evolved since then. Yeah.
To tidying your room.
Yeah. Well, I got some what's it called? What are the packages that you put into your
Packing
suitcase?
cubes.
Packing cubes.
I love packing
Yeah,
cubes.
so now everything's in order
Okay.
all the time.
And so who's your roommate now?
Emma Singh's my favourite girl. We found each other by accident.
Sorry,
let's
we
say.
found each other on a dating
Yes.
app.
Yeah.
We found each other on
right.
Red Rose's Aras, and we matched. Yeah, and then ever since then it's been like same as you and Lucy.
Yeah, pretty
And
solid.
we are very different people, different people. But when you're with someone for a while, you learn each other's quirks and everything. So
And knowing how important it is to have the same person each time, and knowing who to expect, what to expect, and behaviours, wake up times, and all of that. And for me, straight away when I went into camp, I had Rachael Burford, and it was real nice because she asked me to be her roomie. So like I've gone into an international rugby environment for the first time ever. Didn't really know even about sharing rooms or or how all of that worked. But she was like straight in, do you want to come and room with me? And I was like, yeah, this is cool. Like someone feels like they want me. I'm already already in a good place. And so I've actually never had that nomad bit. But I remember Natasha Harper came in for a while, and it was like the biggest burden in her mind about going into camp. Like it's already tough enough, going to an England camp and wanting to perform at your highest level the whole time, let alone worrying about who you're going to sleep next to each night and what their routine is. And did you have any experience of being a nomad, Sadia?
yeah, when I first came in, I think probably just the first season, but it doesn't really bother me, to be honest.
No, it doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother me.
Oh, so it's just me then. Right, okay.
I'm definitely more comfortable in like Luce's company. Like, I don't feel quite as bad if I snore. I mean, I still ask her every morning, "Have you slept, Luce?" And normally it's no.
Yeah, but
But
it's okay.
yeah, it's okay. I
Yeah.
really don't mind, to be fair.
Any other perks going on in camp? Any fun bits? Anyone crocheting at the moment?
No, but there has been a new game.
Telestrations. It's my
Telestrations.
favourite game. I brought it in. It was my idea.
You look
Yeah.
so happy.
No.
I must know more.
It is a great game. It's like a combination of Pictionary and...
Chinese Whispers.
Have I told this explanation
No,
before?
Mo did.
Oh.
Mo did, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was my idea.
So does that mean you stole the game from Mo?
Yeah, she did actually introduce
Okay.
it to me. But
Mo
anyway,
Hunt, thank you very much.
Yeah. The actual game, everyone gets a little whiteboard. You write any word, like you get a list of words. For example, hot air balloon. You write that down, you pass it to the next person. They draw the hot air balloon. The next person just sees the picture of the hot air balloon,
Has to
has to
guess it.
guess what it is.
Then the next person has to draw it, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And obviously it gets lost in translation, and then you
Yes.
do the reveal at the end. And it is a very good game, very entertaining. You don't win, so it makes everyone happy, not too competitive. But
Yeah.
Sorry, you're happy to have a game where there's no win.
No, Shaunagh. Not me. Not me.
Who are you?
I joined
so fun.
reluctantly into this
I
game.
love that everyone has so much fun playing it as well. I love seeing that
Yeah.
everyone's happy.
Yeah, it's funny when you have someone like Meg Jones who doesn't choose something
yeah.
from the cards. She just makes up her own word, and it is completely rogue. And it goes with Emmy Scarrett. Emmy Scarrett's like, nah.
Oh my gosh, it was
surely not.
I don't think
This
it will
is
be
not the word
appropriate.
that was on the card, but at the end, it always turns out to be funny. But yeah, good game.
It was a good game.
Yep, we're here on the set in a top secret location in Leicester. We've hung up our shirts and we've also added some trinkets of our own to the shelves. So I was the most organised, which means I've added the most.
Yeah.
You might say that means I was the most experienced and have the most memories, obviously. But we'll start off with my invitation to St James's Palace for collecting my Duke of Edinburgh Gold Award. Sorry, why are you laughing?
It's meant to be rugby trinkets, Shaunagh, but
That's not what the brief said.
yeah, you're
The
right,
brief
okay.
said trinkets. Am I lying?
No, you're not lying. You're not lying, but
No.
you went out of the box, but I love it.
Shock.
Shock.
Went out of the box. Anybody else done a Duke of Edinburgh? Bronze, silver or gold?
Well, I did complete bronze, and then I did do the expedition of gold, but I didn't fill in the little booklet where you complete the actual award. So I've done the expedition, the hard bit.
So the answer's no.
No, I
You've
haven't
not done your
completed
gold
it.
That is
award.
crazy.
Yeah,
Not
it
worthy.
was a bit silly.
If I and
Sadia,
the answer,
anything from
the
South
answer
London?
is big fat no. You will not catch me in the wild doing something to get a certificate. I'm so sorry. So
I did it for the
answer-
I did
answer
it
is
for the
no.
experience.
Yeah,
Not
and the experience
certificate.
is a no from me. So,
So I received my award from Levi Roots.
and Joe, I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you. You know, I'm happy for you.
I've got a picture with him and everything.
I don't know who Levi Roots is. Who is he?
Sorry.
Is Levi Roots the reggae sauce guy?
It's so nice, I had to name it twice. What we call it? Reggae sauce.
No idea. No idea. Sorry. I don't know people.
Somebody didn't grow up in South London. And it shows.
I grew up in Oxford, thanks.
This is the Women's Six Nations show, but the elephant in the room is the World Cup. The World Cup's in England. Starts in August. For anyone who doesn't know, England lost the World Cup final. Sorry, does anybody in this room not realise that?
Yeah, I think we all
You
know
don't
that.
know.
I think
Yeah.
we know that.
Sore subject.
Yeah.
You over it yet?
No, I think we are. Like, we learnt from it, and yeah, we don't want that to happen again, basically. I think that's one of the driving factors. We don't want to feel like that after the game again.
Like in England, it's always next game mentality, isn't it? So even with Six Nations coming up first, it's like, right, you got to do the job there first, and then World Cup will come along. But yeah, like you said, we're trying to win everything we can and be the best in the world. So hopefully, when it comes to the world tournament, we can do that. We can do that.
I think it's about playing well as well. I think obviously we want to win, but like if losses come before the World Cup, at least we'll learn from that. And obviously we don't want to lose, obviously. I don't know why I said that, but
Losses won't come.
yeah, but we want to play well. I think it's about fine-tuning our game plan and yeah, really playing well in the next tournament and yeah, hopefully winning the Six Nations.
And do you feel the pressure, even going into every single game now, that, you know, everything is about you girls winning the World Cup, lifting that trophy at the home of English rugby?
I think I don't feel the pressure personally.
Yeah, no.
I think I'm very much take things as they
Space cadet?
come. What?
Space cadet?
No, not space cadet. It's very much there, but it's at the back of my brain. You
Yeah.
know, I think that's the mentality we have as a squad. And I also think if I started thinking about the World Cup right now, I would combust. You
There's
know?
so many.
I would just
yeah, we've got so
thin air.
long to
Yeah.
it, so we've got time.
So, Sadia, you just used the word combust.
Yeah.
That's quite a big word for you.
I know
There's not many letters, but in terms of what it means.
No, I have quite an extensive vocabulary.
Whoa, it's another two.
Yeah, blimey, that's a few in.
Harris Academy, South
Yeah,
Norwood.
yeah,
Oh no,
yeah.
Crystal Palace.
Crystal
yeah.
Palace.
Harris
Crystal
Academy,
Palace.
Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
God, how to do education. Anyway, rugby.
Moving on.
So I say you, I've been part of it as well. Won Six Nations in a row.
I don't think I have. I don't think I've been around
Between
for
us.
6 years.
Between us.
Oh, okay.
Between us.
Sorry.
Between us.
Yeah.
We sort of tapped in, tapped out.
Yeah.
Especially as we're the same position, Maud.
We are.
That's a bit awkward, isn't it?
It's a bit awkward.
Pretty much the reason I'm not playing for England anymore is because of Maud. Yeah.
Fight.
Do you remember that time your dad came up to me And he said,
No, what did David say?
David.
It was something along the lines of, oh, like, hi, Shaunagh, like, I'm Maud's dad and she plays tight or something like that. And I would have just been like, oh, yeah, hi, fine. And then you came up to me afterwards like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. My dad said he embarrassed himself and embarrassed me because he pretty much insinuated that, you know, you took my position and that he was so embarrassed now.
He
and in my
gets
head,
so
I was like,
worried.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
this man
went
just said
straight
hello.
over my head.
And I said hello back.
No, he does tend to say offensive things after games.
David is a
He's
funny
truth
man.
bomb.
Yeah, truth bomb.
Yeah.
So that's where you get it from.
Yeah. Thanks, Dad.
Okay, so take us inside an England camp. You two in particular. What's your roles? I want to hear roles on pitch and off pitch.
Ooh, I think my on-pitch role is carry hard. Like, be that collision, dominance. That's kind of my main role. Scrummage first, sorry.
I think
Of
you
course.
should have started.
Sorry.
props
To be
Maud.
fair, the props are evolving.
Yeah, we
They
are evolving. But no, to be fair, I think as a prop, your first job is scrums. If it's going backwards, but I've had an amazing game open field, I've had a bad game. You know what I mean? The scrum is the most important thing. And then off pitch, I'd say,
Games.
like
The game
entertainer?
master, yes.
Would you say entertainer, Sods?
What'd you say, entertainer? Yeah,
It's the shoulder shake.
entertainer, game master. I'd say
Trying
game
to
master.
bring the positive vibes.
Yeah.
Sadia?
On pitch, I would say my job is to whack anybody as hard as I can.
And that you do.
I was going to say I can vouch.
I try.
Yeah, I can vouch for that.
And slowly it's becoming a bit more defensive leader-esque, you know, speaking in the right moments, which I find easy when I'm angry. So I only can really do that like in games, but it's trying to do it more in training now. What is my role off pitch? Oh.
May I make some suggestions?
You can, yeah.
Okay, because when I was around, I had a similar role to you, just sort of catch the ball and run, because it's rugby can be quite complicated, and we are simpler people, shall we say, Sadia? So just give the ball after you scrummaged, Shaunagh.
Yeah.
Tight head prop, because I sometimes forgot about that bit too. Get the ball, head down, go, and then off pitch for you. I'd actually say when you came into camp and you've spoken about before how I've helped you be the person that you are, and sorry, why did you roll your eyes at that?
No, that was eyes of acknowledgement.
It was a positive eye roll.
Yes, thank you, Maud.
Oh, the old positive eye roll.
Yes.
Right.
The look,
And then seeing you develop as a person was great for me, because it actually reminded me to do the same. And it was almost like I was helping you to be yourself and forgot to be myself in that, because a lot of the time I was like, I've only come here to play rugby. To the point I had a conversation with Simon Middleton in my first week of camp ever, and he was like, so how was it? I said, yeah, it was right. Like, just done some rugby and now I've got to go back to work. Like, he's like, oh, I like to meet new people, make new friends. And I said to him, oh, I didn't come here to make friends. And he looked at me like, I said, what's wrong? Like, I didn't come here to make friends. You chose me to come and play rugby.
Yeah.
So I've come to play rugby, and now I'm going home again. And he's just like, wow, nobody's ever said that to me. So seeing you do the rugby bit, do the friends bit, do the being yourself bit, helped me as well. Where do you see yourself in that?
I think actually I've come to realize with a lot of conversations, I've just moved into the leadership group over the past like 2 years, and like you speak about like what's your role off pitch, and like the overwhelming thing is like I'm a facilitator. Like, I'm just by being myself, it allows people around me to do their own thing. And the more that I feel comfortable, the more that I like bring myself out, more people can do that themselves, which is great because I don't have to think about it. You know, I don't have like a actual thing I need to go after. It's just the more comfortable I can make myself. So yeah, I think literally be like facilitating those around me to do whatever they want, because I will do whatever I want. So please feel free to do what makes you feel comfortable too.
As we talk about doing what you want, your hair has been a big topic of conversation for you at the moment, and I obviously know hair is a huge deal. Let's get into game day platters and how important they are, because Maud, you don't, on a day-to-day basis, you don't have your hair plaited.
I don't know. It's just a faff. I can't do it myself. My arms get tired.
And arms get
Even
tired.
doing a
on
slick.
the opposite end of the
on
spectrum
the
over
opposite
here.
end of the spectrum.
12 hours later, I'm still
No, I could
twisting my
never.
hair. I mean, Shaunagh, you know how important it is to have your hair done for game day.
Yep.
I was Shaunagh's personal plaiter when we were in camp. Secret personal plaiter, yeah.
Secret platter, we know those.
Or, let's dive into secret platters.
Secret platter is when you're not a well-known platter, but everyone does actually know that you're a platter, but they know not to ask you.
Yes, exactly.
And I won't mention names, to be honest.
Because then it wouldn't be a secret.
When it wouldn't be a secret.
Exactly. I think look good, feel good, play good. Always. Obviously for me it's a bit different. I can, do my hair myself in my own time, but I know for the rest of the girls in camp, a load of the girls want to have their hair braided before a game. And now there's we have braiding lists that have to be put up before camp, people to have their 15-20 minute slot. Lark, bless her.
Bless her.
Bless her. Because
you can tell she used to be a teacher.
We've actually got people in to plait.
Yeah.
Like external people, like to plait people's hairs when there's no platters.
Platters in.
So what happens when it's a 12 or 1 o'clock kickoff?
Yeah.
Because
stress.
I remember, hectic.
Hectic.
It used to be the team manager would put a slot into the schedule
For plaiting.
for hair plaiting, whether coaches liked it or not. Harriet would know.
The girls need
a
time.
slot.
You need it.
We need a slot.
People wake up at 7 a.m. On a game day
done.
to get their hair done. Yeah, it's madness. I have personally gone through an evolution, as I did used to wear a scrum cap. I used to have a pony in and then just plonk the scrum cap on top. So I didn't need to bother about game day hair, to be fair.
And what colour was this scrum cap mod?
Bright pink. In fact, I should have brought it here. However, I haven't been home, and it's in the loft, so I'll bring it next time.
It's a real world issue.
It is.
I haven't been home.
I haven't been
home. I live
home.
away. You live in a rugby house. You don't get to see your parents very often.
I do actually see them quite often. They come to every game. I could have probably got them to get it, but I just thought too much.
So you're not worried that you would have lost it in the pink set?
It's a slightly different shade. It's more of a neon. Yeah, but I kind of wore it more. I don't actually know why I wore it. I just always wore it, and then one
just an
day,
accessory.
yeah, no, it was. It actually was. It was. Have I got my gum shield? Yep. Boots? Yep. Scrum cap? Yeah, forgot it.
Yeah.
What it was called then.
I always think it's important to remind people that a scrum cap is not to protect you
No,
against
it really
concussion.
Yeah.
I think my mum thought that though. Bless her. Bless little calf.
But you've got great ears though, so it's clearly doing a job.
I know.
It's
No cauliflowers.
No collies.
And talking of scrum hats, we have the scrum hat connoisseur, queen, prototype, entrepreneurial, making scrum hats for a living.
Oh, didn't go that far. I didn't go that far. Yeah, scrum cap girl. I would never have thought I was going to be a scrum cap girl coming into rugby, but I wore mine to protect my hair because I had super long braids when I came to Wasp. I had braids down to my bum, which wasn't the most practical for rugby, I'll be honest, but wearing the scrum cap would keep the braids from falling out of the ponytail. And then over the past 3-4 years of playing, I've been wearing my natural hair more, and I've noticed that there's sometimes a bit of snagging in my scrum cap. And in the Afro hair community, curly hair community, when you go to bed, you wear a satin scrum, not a satin scrum cap. I do not sleep in my scrum cap.
Imagine you had to do the strap on.
Please. A satin headscarf or a satin bonnet. Do you wear a satin headscarf?
I'm a do-rag girl.
Oh, do-rag or a do-rag, which is a different material, but does the same.
To be fair, I do get
job.
the satin do-rag. Or the velour one if I'm feeling fancy.
Sorry, fancy girl. Which is worn to bed to help protect your hair a little bit. So I was like, why not put those two things together? Satin layer into the scrum cap. Which has been produced now. I've been wearing it and it's been going great. So hopefully can get some of those out soon. But yeah, I'm wearing my scrum cap now, not so much as accessory, but more to protect my hair.
Speaking of caps, how about the New England captain?
Wow.
Very good, Sean. Very original.
Did you think of that?
Yeah.
Did you think of that?
Was that your idea?
How did you know? Zoe Aldcroft. So I played with Zoe and I see two very different people on pitch and off the pitch. Off pitch, she's just this lovely, almost scatterbrainy.
Oh, yeah.
Just a great. But you just want to give her a hug, and she'll give you a hug back, and always got a smile on her face, and always checking in, and then you put her on a pitch, and she turns into
woman.
she's just
Absolute.
like this moving brick wall.
Yeah, she's crazy.
I want to say beast because she is
Yeah.
in the best way.
Yeah.
she hits anything.
Hits anything and hits it hard.
And
And also when you hit her, like
She's
it
solid.
hurts.
it hurts. And she's someone who will run through a brick wall for anybody. And you want to do that for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She inspires you.
Definitely.
How is it in camp having her as captain? What's the vibes? Because I also can't imagine her talking an awful lot as well.
I think she's more of a follow by example kind of girl. She's really worked on her speaking in public, and like from Gloucester, she's so good at speaking. So it's just bringing that into England as well. But yeah, I think the thing with Zoe is you'd follow her into war. Every single player on that team would do that and respect her so much. So yeah, it's just incredible for her. And I think nothing will really change with her. She just needs to play like she does, and everyone will look and see what she does. And that's kind of how she'll captain, I'm thinking, and what I've seen before.
Yeah. Sadia, we're in agreement that Zoe runs through brick walls.
Yes.
For a living.
Yeah, literally
now.
for a living. Yeah.
So we've got some data to back that up. In our Sage Insights, Zoe Aldcroft made 43 carries last year's Six Nations. Only 2 players made more. Who are they?
For some reason, my brain's saying Ellie Kildan. I don't know why.
I'm thinking.
To be fair, yeah. Sometimes you
does
see her
carry a
carry
lot.
such, you think, how'd you do that as a
Yeah.
fullback? Yep. But I mean, I've got the answer in front of me, so I can't play this game.
Okay.
Okay,
This is a
I'm
game for you
thinking.
to
I'm
play.
thinking Evie Gallagher. I think for Scotland, she's someone who. Well, they're 8. Evie Gallagher.
Aoife Wafer could be one.
What if I brought you to England?
Okay.
Okay.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
I'll just go Ellie.
I'm going Burner.
Correct. Maud with Ellie Kildan.
Woo!
And Sadia, you just needed to exist and back yourself.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, it was Sadia.
Ellie
Sorry, I was like, who was it then? Oh wow!
Well, fair enough.
You did actually. You did carry very well.
Just get through the work.
So
girls.
Sadia, you made 44 carries. And so did Ellie.
Interesting.
I actually knew it was Ellie. I just could sense it was.
Do you want to know how many you made, Maud? How many carries in a Six Nations tournament?
20?
Back yourself. Come on. You was close. Very close.
Was I?
Yeah.
38?
41.
Oh wow!
Right up there.
Oh, I was close. To be fair, I do remember carrying quite a bit. Just about Six Nations.
You're saying you
I do
carried
remember
England
that.
through that situation.
No! Don't twist my
You heard
words.
it here first.
No,
Maud carried
no,
England to
no,
the Grand
no.
Slam last
Backs
year.
herself a bit, doesn't she?
No.
And I've got one more Sage insight for you. Zoe Aldcroft made more tackles than any other England player in last year's Six Nations. Do you want a quick guess with a number? Quick,
How
another
many
number.
tackles she made?
65.
Close. Give me a number. 65's close.
70.
72.
Sorry, don't act surprised. She got a hint.
More. Don't be mad. Don't be mad that you didn't guess 70. Sorry.
Which is how many more than you, Sadia?
Oh, 7.
10.
Have you not seen this? It's 7. How are you doing this?
It's just feeling. It's just a
Yeah.
feeling. Yeah.
72 tackles and 43 carries.
43 carries, yeah.
Blimey.
72
She is a
tackles.
workhorse. Whoa!
I'm actually in disbelief.
I'm just going to take us away from rugby slightly.
Yeah.
When you said that she is a workhorse, I just got that vision of you playing Oliver.
Why?
Because that's what the kids did back then. Look, they were
Yeah.
workhorses. And Sadia, give us the backstory on Oliver.
Well, if you don't know, Maud played Oliver in one of her school plays.
No, it wasn't actually a school play. It
Oh,
was,
sorry.
It was a drama group called Lime Walk Players.
Oh, sorry. I
made
don't
up
want, I
of
don't want to.
children and old people.
I don't want to downplay it. Sorry, she played Oliver in a sorry, one more time.
In a a production company called Lime Walk Players.
Yes. And this is the fact that comes up a lot with Maud.
Yeah.
Something she's very, very proud of. And when we went on holiday 2 years ago, me, Maud and Lucy, there was a lovely balcony. So Maud gave us a nice rendition of a song from Oliver. Could you give us a snippet?
Please, sir, please.
Please, sir. Please.
I'll save that for another day.
Well, we've got you recorded saying that, so we can play that back and be like, Maud, we need it now because you promised. Comment on the YouTube if you want to hear
Comment
more.
down below.
Do her Oliver
Please,
rendition.
sir, can I have some more? If you want to hear more, give her a rendition.
It could be, please, sir, can I have some
More.
So good. We've got to run with that.
Please, sir.
Actually, can you do a sign of me for when I play?
Please, sir, can I have some more? But then you have to come to the sideline and do the song.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
I'll do it.
Okay.
If someone makes me a
I'll get
sign
on
with that
it.
on, I will
get
do
on
it.
And I'm going to bring you a little like Peaky Blinders cap.
Yeah, perfect.
Perfect.
From captain to coach. There's a relatively new guy in town, John Mitchell. What's it been like having him around, having him in?
Yeah, it's so good. I really like Mitch personally. I think it's just nice to have normal conversations with a head coach. It just makes the environment a lot more relaxed. And yeah, I think he's a really good coach. So excited for the future.
Yeah, I think he's been great coming in. Like he's someone who's obviously very huge on like bond and team culture, and in that he knows that he has to give himself to the team as well. So like what Mitch's personality is. He's a bubbly guy. He's pretty quirky. He'll come out with random things, at the beginning of a team meeting. I think that kind of stuff puts you at ease as well. Like as a player, you want to be able to get along with your team and like your staff. And I think it's really important to get along with your head coach. And I think it's been really nice to have someone come in and immediately like want to get to know the players.
Yeah. Tell everyone the story about the meeting at the beginning of the meeting, what he told everyone.
Yeah, so obviously we've been in camp this week and he came in and he goes to the front and he goes, so I know everyone's thinking about my black eye that I have.
No one
could see it. No one was thinking about it. Yeah, so on the weekend, like I was in my room and I was doing some at-home gym stuff, had a resistant band that you put on the back of a door. So you're doing his lap
face pull
or something. And he
So
didn't.
you can tell Sadia spends time in the gym.
He was doing something, and he didn't hook it around the door properly, so it came off the door and flicked him in the eye. And now he had this little black eye, which we couldn't see. But obviously, it was something that was very,
it had no relevance.
Yeah, but it was obviously
a
big thing for him coming into that week. He didn't want anyone to be worried about him. He didn't want to be worried about anything going on back at home. So he came and said, "Guys, I'm okay. This is what happened." And then he goes in, "Okay, so rugby," and he gets into the meeting. But that's like a snippet of like random stories he'll bring into camp.
So rugby.
Rugby.
What has he done for the rugby?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Did you see what I did there?
Yeah.
Lovely segue.
Yeah, so when it was Simon Middleton, and I think England was renowned for being this structured play, and it was very much rugby by numbers. This is a number you have on the back of your shirt. This is the position and role you will play. This is what ruck you will hit, and this is what phase you will hit it at. I'm going to guess things are a little bit different now.
Yeah, don't get us wrong, like it is still very structured and we do know exactly what we're doing, but we've got backup plans, we've got different options that we can do. We practice our kicks, we practice our ball in hand. We've got loads of options, and I think using the players that we actually have is what he's allowed us to do. Like you want Tat on the ball, you want her distributing, etc., etc. So hopefully that new structure will allow the players to thrive and backs to be able to do some more running rugby, not just, the notorious England maul, but we have got that in the locker. So I think just lots of different things that we can do on the pitch.
So when you've got a crash ball, like Tatiana heard, crash ball 12, you want to be able to use her.
Exactly.
But also give her the other options to do the kick, do the pass,
Triple
do the
threat.
run.
Triple threat.
Triple threat.
I was waiting for you to say the words. So this is the first time he would have coached women. Has there been sort of things that he's got wrong and then fixed almost? Has there been things he's learned along the way that he's shared with you? Or have you noticed a difference in, how he approaches certain conversations or meetings compared to how he is now?
I think, obviously, Mitch came into camp with the idea of being very transparent, which, as women, I think we appreciate, like the transparency. And I think he's different to any other male coach I have had. I think they don't normally have that ability to come in and be transparent with women. They don't want to make them upset or have these difficult conversations. But I think he's probably realised that sometimes he doesn't have to tell everybody every single one of his thoughts, which, you know, it's just learning. Like, you learn your players, you learn what they need to hear, what they don't need to hear. And he still has this great ability to be very transparent and be very upfront. But I think his learning, which is literally opposite to other men I've been coached by, is that sometimes not every single thing you think needs to be said to the players.
I think what's cool is like he admitted that, and he admitted he got some things wrong, and I think that's really cool that a head coach has the, I don't know the word, like
vulnerability.
Yeah, to be able to open up and say, look, I got this wrong, but I'm going to improve next time. And yeah, I think I really, it made me really respect him for that.
Yeah. Have either of you had a female coach before?
Yes, we have. The same
Have
one.
you, Shaunagh?
I have.
Who?
You sound surprised about that. Oh yeah, I've had two. No, because the main one I was thinking about was Karen Finley, aka Jock. So it's a little bit.
Jock,
yeah. So I have to use their proper name for the
Yes.
podcast and
Yeah,
thing, of course. yeah. Jock's famous in the world, and it does feel a little bit different, but it's not always something you can nail down as to why. Sometimes I think it's just a feeling that it's different, and not necessarily for good or for ill. It's just something that I think women get about women. And I don't get me wrong, I feel like men are learning it now, and especially like the amount of times we have to report on our menstrual cycle and what place we are in the month with it, and men are starting to get it because they're so close to us. But did you ever find like big differences or even minor differences with having, you had Giselle, didn't you? Giselle,
Yeah,
Labour?
we both had Giselle, yeah. I think it's so dependent on a coach's personality, to be honest. Personally, Lynn has been one of the best coaches I've had.
Who's Lynn?
Oh, so sorry. Lynn, Gloucester Hartpury head coach and newly appointed Wales head coach.
Which we'll get into later.
We will get into that later. Yeah, he's incredible. And I think like he's so good at working with women. I think because he allows us to be ourselves.
Because we are different. And that's almost just life, right? So it's people embracing that and getting on with it rather than just treating everybody the same. As you know, one of my big things in life is actually celebrating difference. Yeah. Sadia, how was it for you having a female head coach?
Yeah, I think with having like a female head coach is like you already understand each other on that emotional level. Like I think women understand women and what they need, which I think also can be sometimes a downfall sometimes because you get really overly invested. Whereas I think it's opposite to sometimes the men who I've been coached by. They come in and they're like standoffish. They have no idea how to speak to women or like what they need, what they don't need, and they have to like mess up to then, you know, try and learn, which then can cause like rifts and barriers within teams. So I think it's finding that kind of balance, and I think it can be dependent on having a male or a woman head coach. But it's about being able to, I think, first, like, emotionally understand your players, and that's how you get the best out of them.
Let's talk about Wales. Lynn, he's your head coach, isn't he?
Linny
and
boy.
He's a new top man at Wales. Talk to us about Lynn.
Linny is, I can't speak highly enough of Linny. He's honestly been such a big part of Gloucester Hartpury, our success. He's incredible. I think his ability to bring a group of people together is insane, and I think that's what Wales need. I think, yes, he's going to be in for like game week, basically. That's his first proper in-person interaction with the girls, so he won't be able to do masses on the pitch, but I think that, you know, spirit and energy is what the girls need, and I'm so excited for him to go into Wales, even though I am really sad that he's leaving Gloss. He's all about like license to inspire, so like playing out wide and, you know, being able to do your thing on the pitch, and I think that is what the Welsh girls need. A bit of what's it like?
License to inspire.
I love
that line.
I think he's going to be amazing for the girls, and so excited to see how they get on this Six Nations.
And do you think he can bring an impact in such a short space of time?
I really do believe he can, because of his energy. Like, it's infectious. We all really love him and respect him, and he's an incredible human being, but also a coach.
players to look out for in Wales. I'm going to go Kira Bevan, partly because she's more your favourite type of player, because she's not a single threat.
She's
She's
a
not a double threat.
Jump the gun.
She's a
Triple threat.
Yeah, she has got a boot.
And what does a triple threat mean?
Run, pass, kick.
Oh,
You don't seem so sure. Come on, girls, we practiced this.
I am just run, so I don't know what the other two are.
Look, Kira Bevan, the triple threat.
Yeah.
She's such an unpredictable player. You never know what she's going to do. She's like classic, that cheeky, snipey kind of 9. She just darts everywhere. She's everywhere all at the same time.
Chuck in an occasional 50-22.
Chuck in occasional 50-22. Kicks off of the tee. I think she just brings so much to Wales. She's certainly, for me, one to watch.
Yeah, definitely. She'll be a great part of Welsh success this campaign.
Have you got anyone you've got your eye on, or someone who you want to see do well in
Yeah,
Six Nations?
I'm super excited for Kelsey Jones. Hopefully she's aiming to get back for the Six Nations. She had a long-term injury probably about a year ago, actually. She did her ACL. But yeah, she's such again, a bit like Lynn, to be fair. She's an infectious player. Like, she's incredible energy. And I think that would be so good to have her back in the Welsh setup.
I think you're a bit biased though, Maud. Isn't she your housemate?
Yeah, she is, but
Not but.
Not but.
You just left that bit out.
How is she as a housemate?
she's a great housemate. I haven't actually seen her much the past few months because she's been back in Wales. But she loves a game as well. Actually, no, she doesn't love a game.
She's coerced into loving a game.
So competitive, like really competitive. But I force her to play games sometimes.
Ireland. Now, they've made a lot.
Ireland. Great national anthem.
Great.
Sorry. I know. English.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
I'm a
a
fan
of the Irish national anthem. Their progress has been unreal. If we look at the WXV tournament, and before we get into Ireland's progression, could you both tell me a little bit about what WXV is?
WXV is the World 15s tournament. Women's 15s tournament. It's the international tournament that takes place in the previous autumn period, which there's 4 tiers?
3
tiers. Can you tell I haven't been? Can you tell I haven't been?
Yeah.
Because
Why haven't you been?
So awkward. Anyway, 3 tiers: WXV 1, WXV 2, WXV 3, all take place at the same time around the world, which is a great initiative because you don't just have the top tier countries playing. You have countries like Kenya, like these countries who you don't see playing international rugby. So
no, it's great. And also, like, you can see that Ireland went from WXV 3, which is the bottom tier, to WXV 1 in a year, and came second, I think they did, in WXV 1, beating New Zealand in the last game, which was incredible to see. And yeah, I've got a few Irish teammates at Gloucester, so was really happy for them.
And they've got a few young standout players at the moment, including Erin King, who last year was World Rugby Breakthrough Player of the Year, and that's quite a hotly contested spot to have. And then you've got the likes of Aoife Wafer, who is actually my player to watch and one to look out for in Ireland and for the Six Nations, because she's a human wrecking ball. I don't know if you probably wouldn't have played against her, would you? You've played against her much?
I think we played against her last Six Nations.
Yeah, last Six Nations at Allianz
She was.
Stadium.
I can't remember all of her achievements. I'm going to read them off.
Oh wow!
Okay.
So you just act.
She's
out
had a
with your
big year.
face.
She's had a very big year.
She's had a very big year. Right, you ready?
Yeah.
So we've got Rugby Writers of Ireland Women's Player of the Year. She was twice Player of the Match during last year's Six Nations. She was nominated Player of the Tournament last year's Six Nations. World Dream Team of the Year 2024. There's another person over here on that team, eh?
Guilty.
Hey. And Rugby Players Ireland Player of the Year as well.
Wow.
Like, if you've got someone like that on your team, and even just her being there would help inspire and lift other people, because it's like all of a sudden you're seeing your country get that recognition it deserves. And who's going to win? Maud?
I'm going to back the Irish.
Nice. Where are you going?
I'm back in France. However, I think obviously Ireland, with their last result being WXV beating New Zealand, huge win. They can take great confidence going into that. But yeah, I think it'll be a juicy game, but I'm going to back France.
So you're back in France. Let's talk a bit about them. They're kind of used to those runners-up medals in the Six Nations. Prob's getting a bit awkward now.
Not again.
Do you think France hate us?
Probably, definitely. Who doesn't hate the English?
Yeah, that's true.
Last game of the tournament is going to be England versus France at Allianz Stadium. What's that going to be like?
Yeah, it's going to be an incredible atmosphere. I think hopefully we'll get a big crowd and it will be a really competitive game. France always bring out their best game against us. I don't quite know why. I think probably, I don't know why. They always do. They're just so aggressive.
That is Rugby Insights 101.
Yeah, Rugby
You are not going to get a better analytical sentence on a rugby team than what Maud Muir can offer you.
Sorry.
Don't know why, but
thank you, Maud.
they do. Just happens. Had a great
No,
breakfast
I
that
do
morning.
feel like everyone plays their best game against the English. They actually
Well, yeah,
do.
they bring their A game because
You
we
have
are
to.
currently
Number one.
say number one in the world. So
Yeah, true.
Number one in the world, but also the highest points ranked team ever
Ever?
across men or women.
Wow, I
About
didn't know that.
97.1. I want to say no other
Wow.
team's ever got so many points in the world rankings.
Go the English.
You're welcome.
Go the English.
So on that point, we often beat France 14 times in a row, in fact. How do you prepare to beat them again? Do you think, this could be the year that we lose against them? How do you not be complacent?
I think, like I said, as England, it's always next game mentality no matter who we're playing. And I don't know about you, but for me personally, playing France is so exciting because it's going to be a battle. Like, it's not always a guarantee. Well, there's never a guaranteed win, but as stats say, we have been in the last 14 times in a row, but it's always been a competitive game. And I think we always prepare to what we've seen in that tournament. So we can't just go, last year we beat them this way, so we're going to do it that way. So it's always exciting having to learn new things they've brought into their camp, like new players, new talents, and then have to train against that, play against that, and then know you're coming up against something new. So every time you're playing them, it's something new. It's not just the same thing. So I think that's what keeps the kind of excitement alive in that.
I remember a few years ago when I was in camp and France were picking through the middle of the ruck quite a lot. And so we prepared like 2-3 weeks in advance of defending against that. And so we did. And we went into the game. This is my first game starting for England. Oh, no. Yeah, the first time I ever had the number 3 on my shirt. And playing against France, defending at, guard.
What is guard,
Yeah,
Shaunagh?
It's the first person closest to the ruck.
Yeah.
And I'm like, right, I'm ready. I'm ready to shout, ready, fire, or whatever it was at the time. And someone just appears through the middle of the ruck. And this thing that we prepared for the last 3 weeks, I've just ignored all of it. And they've scored.
And was
Because
that
of
moment
me.
in slow motion in your head when you replay it?
That moment was not only in slow motion in my head, it was then repeated to me through every sort of coaching meeting, every IDP, which is the meeting where you have your performance review with about 8 members of staff in there, repeated back to me for about a year.
It haunted you.
It haunted me. And to the point I had to tell him, so can you stop playing that, please? Because I messed up, okay?
I admit it.
I admit.
I've messed up.
It's literally on
I've moved
camera. It's on camera. We know I did wrong. They scored, but we still won. Let's move on. So, unpredictability.
Yeah.
How do you prepare for that?
I think, to be fair, we're very much focuses on us. We want to go out there, execute our game plan. Like, of course, we'll make changes because we're playing against France. The other team that, the starting team will play against France in the training week, who will be able to give them different pictures so that we get a bit used to how France play. But to be honest, we'll just focus on us, and hopefully that'll be enough to beat France,
And so, Scotland. Scotland.
Sorry, do you just prefer everyone else's national anthem other than ours?
What is that?
No, that's not.
What is
Oh, no,
that?
it's Flower of Scotland. is the
Flower of
national-
I do love that one as well.
We had it was Burns night the other day in Loughborough, and we have a big Scottish contingent. So we went to the pub, and naturally I got everyone, a little drink for the Scottish girls, and they got up and sang the anthem. And I'm ashamed to say I did join in. I
Oh,
joined
no,
in.
Sarge.
It's just so catchy.
You'll never be
Just so
picked for
catchy.
England again.
It's just so catchy.
I'm going to guess one of those players that was on Burns Night with you was one you call Scotty, Rachael Malcolm.
Rachael Malcolm, yes.
She's captained her side through more Six Nations than any other captain. What's she like as a person? What does she bring to Loughborough Lightning that she also brings to Scotland?
Yeah, Rachael Malcolm, Scotty is an amazing, amazing player. She's someone who's just so passionate about the game, but more so passionate about every team she plays. So the same passion she brings to Scotland, she brings to Lightning, and she's able to galvanise a team literally like that. Like, you know, you have those people whose strengths are, you know, their work rate or their ability to kind of think on the spot, but Scotty, like anything she says, it comes from the heart and it's just so natural. And then she goes out on the pitch, she puts exactly what she said in the team room and the energy onto the pitch too.
Maud, they've got 9 new faces in the Scottish camp this year. So how do they get the balance right between experience and the youth coming up through? Especially because you're sort of in that transition period now. You're, 35, 36 caps in? 35?
35 caps, yeah.
Yeah, I'm your girl. So you're getting towards the experienced end of the spectrum. How do you manage that?
At age 23.
How do you manage that balance?
I think it's a balance, basically.
More deep analytical
Great
insights.
rugby insight.
Look, I was going to really expand, but now you've lost my train of thought.
Go on. No, sorry, it's a balance. It's a balance.
It's a balance.
I think it's about having that experience, but with a couple of new faces that have really been performing in the either PWR or in the new Celtic Challenge Cup, which is the new tournament that's got 2 teams from Ireland, Scotland and Wales in. I think it's, just a combination of all of those things will hopefully bring out the best Scotland team.
Yeah. And our Scotland at the beginning of the cycle, if you got 9 new players into the squad, that tells me that you're sort of looking to build. And actually, maybe it's not going to be their World Cup this year, because if you've got that many new players, you're potentially building for years after that. What do you think, Sadia?
It'll be good for Scotland because they've been up and down the past couple of years, more ups and downs recently, but maybe having new faces and having, you know, their experienced heads, your Sarah Bonners, your Helen Nelsons, bringing up these players coming through the ranks to then be, you know, the future Helen Nelsons and Sarah Bonners. So yeah, it might not necessarily be their year to go and grab a World Cup, but I think there could be a lot of improvement and improvement in their game seen from Scotland.
One other player I wanted to mention was Rachael Malcolm. She's leading the charge for the content on TikTok for Scotland.
She's a TikTok babe.
Is that what you call her?
Yeah, TikTok babes.
Was that club?
No, just generally. If you're on TikTok, you're a TikTok babe.
Okay.
News to me.
News to both of you.
You're getting old, but you're only 23.
Had to delete TikTok, actually.
Sorry, what do you mean you had to delete TikTok?
Well, I have a very addictive personality and I can't stop myself from scrolling. And then I'll just scroll for hours and then never sleep.
That is quite a mature decision from you.
I am addicted to Instagram Reels, though.
And but how
and have
how
you deleted
many,
Instagram?
Nope.
How many times have you deleted and re-downloaded TikTok?
Probably 10 times, 10 or so times. I do like making TikToks, but
The scrolling's what
the
gets
scrolling
you.
is my issue.
Okay, so you're not going to be leading the charge on content for TikTok, but who is in the England camp? Who's your main TikTokers?
Ooh.
Who's your content queens?
Content queens. Ellie Kildan.
Yeah.
Content queen on her Instagram. Not necessarily camp stuff, but just generally. Do we have a TikToker? To be fair, Hannah Bottom's been on the TikTok grind.
Yeah.
Oh, she does a fit check.
Her fit checks. Hannah Bottom and
checks.
Sarah Byrne.
Yeah.
Do you think
They
it's a
Yeah,
Bristol
Berner
thing?
has actually
Berner's
been on her
TikTok
social
grind,
media game,
social
actually.
media.
Sarah Byrne.
I think it's the Alona Mar effect.
Yeah, Bristol. That is
Yeah,
actually
it's a
all
Bristol
the Bristol.
thing.
Yeah.
Which, fair play. If I had the Alona Mar effect, I'd be doing the same thing.
It's not exclusive. You can have it too.
No. She needs to be in proximity. That's what I'm taking from it.
We've got a mug over there. It's reasonable proximity to you.
Yeah, that she may be after, so I'll go make a TikTok. Don't know. Do a post tonight.
Ilona Mar played at Bristol Bears. Hannah Bottoman, Bristol Bears. Sarah Byrne, Bristol Bears.
Yeah.
And now we're going to get into my player of the watch, who also plays for Bristol Bears.
Oh, wow.
Yay. Evie Gallagher. She is a machine. I could sit and watch her highlight reels all day. She's a back rower, like almost like a you, Sadia, actually. Like a good old school classic work rate, hits, tackles, but she textbook tackles most of the time. Like if you watch her in slow-mo, yeah, I'm that sad. You could show that as a coaching video, like this is how to tackle in a game. Turnovers, she's all over it. And again, I've got a list of her achievements. Yeah, she's on one as well. She started all of last year's Six Nations games. Most amount of turnovers in the tournament last year. Six Nations tournament.
Wow.
She was nominated RPA's Women's Player of the Year.
Wow.
Which is a pretty big deal across the women's game.
It is.
And she also went to Commonwealth Games in 2022.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
Yeah, as a rugby player. She was played sevens for Scotland in 2022 Commonwealth Games.
Oh, that is really cool.
So she's also extremely fit.
Yeah.
Extremely fit, yeah.
I think one thing about Evie Gallagher is when you watch her on the pitch, you think she's this huge player, and if you meet her in real life, she's like a Vicky Fleetwood, like a small that packs a real punch. And uses, what she has to absolutely get around the pitch and hit people and make great carries too.
She has I haven't really ever seen her have a bad game. She's such a solid player, like solid, but the high end of the spectrum. She's really good.
Sorry, what does that mean? What is that? Solid on the high end of the spectrum.
Like, not just solid, but like really good solid.
Right.
So what is really bad solid?
I don't even know.
No, she's just really good.
Yeah. Okay.
She's just
really good. Right, let's finish with coming back to you girls. Italy this weekend in York. How's the game going to be?
I think it's going to be a really exciting game. Obviously, first game of the tournament. Everyone's, raring to go. First time playing together as a team. And I think Italy, one of those teams, similar to France, you never know what they're going to bring. You can't really preview Italy and know what's coming because they kind of play off the cuff. They like to do loads of offloads. And as an England side, it's really exciting to defend against because you've got to be on the ready. But also to attack against their defence is also really exciting because it'll be our first opportunity to really go at it.
Yeah, and as a set piece and as a prop forward yourself, Maud, Italy was always the strong scrum, and it's no matter what's happening on the pitch, no matter what the scoreline is, every scrum is a new scrum, and every scrum is a chance for Italy to show what they can bring. And actually, it's like the first scrum compared to the 15th scrum of the game was always just as tough because Italy just stuck in at it. Have you ever found that when you're playing or propping against Italy?
Yeah, I think they are so tough-minded. That's their big thing. They won't ever stop working hard. Silvia Turani, for example, I do not know how that girl keeps on going. You see her get down and get knocked down and she gets back up again and again and again and again. She is insane. And I think that's kind of the Italian mindset, is just keep on going. So yeah, from minute 1 to minute 80, they'll be working hard and giving us a run for our money.
Agreed. So it's going to be just as tough a game as any. There's also a game in Leicester this year, which is basically our new home. So get yourself down to a game. If you've never been to see an international game before, now's your chance to get involved. You'll have an incredible day out. There'll be some wonderful rugby on show. Come and support the girls. Right, Maud, you've now got a podcast. It's official. And we need some of Maud's diaries, some of your Maud's eye view. Are you going to be able to bring that to us, listeners, viewers, to entertain them as much as it entertained us?
Definitely. I'll make sure to bring a clip or two for the viewers to watch.
And if the viewers want to see the first clip as Oliver, what are they going to be commenting, Sadia?
Please, sir, can I have some more?
If you watch the show on YouTube, hit subscribe. If you've got a question for next week, hit the link in the episode description and search Love of Rugby to follow us on Instagram. That's it this week. Thank you to Sage for their insights. We'll see you next week, won't we?
Goodbye.
That was so